going on, everybody? Welcome back to a new and exciting episode of the Viall Files Bachelor Recap Edition. We're back. We're finally back in season. I'm your host, Nick, joined by Allie and Amanda, and our special guest today, the one, the only, Ariana Madix is with us from Vanderpump Rules, a little reality TV crossover.
Yes.
Welcome, Ariana.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah.
I haven't seen you since Vegas.
Yes, which was a great time.
Good time, yeah.
Yes.
I was, as far as like Vegas trips or, trips that we so wonderfully get invited to at times.
Yes.
That one really delivered.
It really did deliver. I mean, Missy Elliott performed.
Yeah. It's a good group.
The El Alto Patron was flowing.
Yeah. It was pretty good Patron.
It was great. It was, right?
I really quite liked it.
Yeah, I was actually impressed. Yeah, it was a great time.
It's good to see you again.
Yes.
We have a lot to get into Bachelor-wise, but I figured maybe we just start with you. What's going on? You got a premiere coming up.
Yes. Vanderpump Rules season 10.
Season 10.
Yes.
A whole decade.
February 8th. A whole decade.
That's impressive. Wow. Have you been on all 10?
Technically, I've been on 9 out of 10, but I was around for the first one as well. So I guess you could say all 10 a little bit.
You made an appearance on all 10 seasons.
Yes.
That's impressive.
Yeah. It's funny because, when I was an actor, I was like, I want to, do TV. And I was like, I want to be a series, like, you like manifest things or you like dream things or you say them out loud and then you get them from the universe in like a completely different way. I was like, I want to be a series regular on a long running show, and then it's like, here we are, but it's a reality show. It's just different.
Not what you expected, but still pretty cool looking back.
It's pretty exciting. Yeah.
Are you guys doing anything exciting for the premiere?
Yeah, so the night before we have like an official premiere party that we're doing. And then the night of, I don't know, I'll probably just be like holed up in my living room with some wine, reading what people say about me.
Do you do that still?
I do, actually.
Why?
I'm a masochist, I guess.
Are you just Twitter, or are you really evil to yourself and you go full Reddit?
Oh, sometimes I go full Reddit. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no, I there's something, it's like an itch. You know what I mean? And you're like, don't do it. Don't scratch it. But you like, I can't help it.
As someone who's always liked to pick scabs as a child, I
do you understand?
I understand the analogy, but I've become a non-scab picker in my reality TV.
Teach
days.
me your ways. I need to go down the non-picking route.
I could give you a whole reason why. I will spare the audience.
Okay,
but what is it going to do for you?
True. Yeah. I don't know. Nothing.
They don't know who you are.
They don't.
They're not rooting for your success.
Oh, usually no. Most
people
of the time,
on Reddit
no.
Don't like a lot of reality TV people watch it to feel better. That's like old school reality TV, is to feel better.
To think like, themselves. I'm better than that person that's on the TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like the people on Reddit are highly educated for the most part.
Yeah.
They might be lawyers, or they, successful business people, and especially people who have been on for a long time. I think it drives them nuts to see any amount of sustained success in that space. It just drives them nuts.
Yeah.
So
there's also that thing of like, if you say, oh, I'm doing well or whatever, which, a lot of times I'm not. But if you say you are doing well, they're like, there's no way that can actually be true.
Yeah, no. She must hate her life. Yeah. And possibly.
No. Yeah.
It's like, but it's just one big projection on Reddit.
I think just in general. Yeah.
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 Just some quick housekeeping notes. This Thursday, if you're in the LA area, Thursday, January 26th, I will be hosting an event at Brilliant Earth in Santa Monica, helping out my cuz. It should be a ton of fun. There'll be a lot of cool people there. If you're interested in joining, it's from 6 to 8 on Thursday in Santa Monica. If you're in the area, check it out. Limited tickets are available. And there'll be Eventbrite link in our show description to RSVP. So check it out this Thursday, 6 to 8, Santa Monica, over at Brilliant Earth. The first 25 guests will receive a signed copy of Don't Text Your Ex Happy Birthday. How about that? And then it'll just be a fun hangout. So come check it out if you're in the area. Also, if you haven't noticed, because of the events from 68, week 2 of the AMP show Better Date Than Never is getting pushed up 2 hours. We really apologize for mixing up just in week 2, but the second episode of Better Date Than Never will be at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. Be sure to check that out. Week 1 was a blast. It was a ton of fun, so it'll be more of the same. Don't forget to send in those submissions if you have a date lined up, if you've been on some dates and you want a quick breakdown of how the date went. If you're not sure if you should go on a second or third date, make sure you email us at asknick@theviallfiles.com.
And put AMP in the subject line so we know.
Sorry for having to move it around. I already had this Brilliant Earth event planned for months. It was actually supposed to happen in November, and then they pushed it to around the Valentine's Day. We have to adjust. So going forward, it will be always at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. But this particular week, we're moving it up 2 hours. So I hope you can all join us. Mark your calendars, make the adjustments now, and tell your friends. Don't miss week 2. Anything you want to add, ladies?
Just that for our pregame portion where we give some cocktail drink tips and some hair and makeup stuff, we will have Ariana give us an amazing recommendation for a drink this week.
Incredible. Also, don't forget our January installment of our special update show airs this Friday. All things Ask Nick, texting office hours. We'll have some great updates for you. So don't miss the update special this Friday. So 4 episodes this week, not even counting AMP. So there's five episodes this week.
Woo!
Any drama that we can look forward to? I know you're probably not able to share
Right, of course.
too much, but like,
yeah. Well, if
do you
anybody
want to talk any shit? I mean,
yeah,
like,
fuck everybody. No, there was. If anybody saw the trailer, it is gonna be a crazy season. Katie Maloney, and Tom Schwartz, their divorce and the subsequent fallout of that.
that seems to play out a lot.
Yeah, it was kind of like the big thing.
Should we have Tom on the podcast?
Oh, yeah, sure. Why not?
Do you think it'll be messy?
No, I feel like he's very like amicable,
Okay.
and they're friends now. Like I just saw on like Dumois that they went out to lunch together for her birthday.
Did they?
Yeah, which your book.
Yeah.
They did not listen to.
Nah.
They did not listen to.
I forgot to give her a copy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, don't text them. Wish them happy birthday in person.
Go to lunch.
Go to
Yeah.
lunch.
Buy them some lunch.
Do you think they hooked up?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so.
You recently posted something on your IG stories about you seem to be kind of just exhausted with drama, both
Well, I had,
personally
like,
and professionally.
I had like a really bad year last year and a really bad summer. I lost my dog of 18 years, and then
I'm so sorry.
next month I lost my grandma, and so that was all during filming. So to try to be present and sane for all of the drama that honestly should be fun drama in a way, was really hard. It was really hard to be like, I'm here, I care, and I have something, clever to say about this, because it's like my mind is completely somewhere else.
Did they even try or attempt or want to like involve your personal struggles into the show? Like how do they balance that out? Or do they go to you guys or ask you, or are you guys like, oh, I don't want to fucking talk about my grandma on the show? Or is that something that you guys negotiate with producers?
I mean, it honestly happened in the middle of filming, so there was like no way around it, like not talking about it or not having it be kind of, I had to leave and go home.
Okay.
So I was gone for a few days of filming. So yeah, there was like, it had to be addressed, because it's like all of a sudden I'm just like not around. So there had to be explained and stuff like that. So yeah, it just fucking sucked.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
In other scenarios, if you didn't have to leave, like how do you guys figure out what bleeds into the show with your personal lives and what's more focused around the group?
I mean, we go full on. We give
There's no such thing. There's no lines.
There's no lines. Yeah. And it just it ends up with like, when after everything's been filmed and we give everything, we show everything, it's up to production or Bravo to say, okay, these are the things that we see that like we want to follow or not, but the footage is all there. So then they, I guess pick what they like think is the most entertaining, I guess.
How
I don't know.
are you always like when you're done filming? Are you at this point being a 9-year veteran? Are you just like fuck it, whatever? They're gonna play whatever, or is it after every season you get done filming? Is there like a week of like, fuck, I shouldn't have said that, or
all the
how are they
time.
gonna use that, or
All the
shit like
time.
that? Okay.
I have anxiety, like bad. I'm on medication for it. So like there's no way around. Like it's kind of like, okay, if you go out and you get like you like overshare, you get a little drunk and you like overshare in like the smoking section outside the bar or something. And then you go home and you're like, oh my God, what the hell was I like? That's how it feels. It's kind of, but it's like if you don't share or overshare, you can't just sit there
That's
and
the
like,
point. Yeah.
So
It's like the emotional anxiety.
I couldn't
Yes,
imagine.
Yes.
I'm curious, like with a cast that you've known for so long and developed like closeness in so many different ways, like how do you handle all of those competing loyalties, especially when it's like you have a situation where it's like you have a long-term partner and then his business partner and then your friends, like, and sometimes there's like competing wants. Like, how do you decide which loyalties you prioritize?
You kind of seem like Switzerland a little bit.
If Switzerland was like super, super stressed out all the time.
Maybe they are. Maybe
That's why they need chocolate.
No one really talks about like maybe Switzerland's
How
like,
does
God,
Switzerland
Can we
feel?
check in on Switzerland? How are they
we
doing?
still indifferent here? Like, how do we?
Yeah, no, it's like, it is, of course, like I try to prioritize, honestly, myself in a way, because it's like, okay, look, I feel like I can, maybe it's this is an annoying trait of mine, that I can kind of like empathize with how both sides of an issue feel a lot of times. And so it's like, I try to speak up when I like disagree about how someone's handled something, but then be honest about like, hey, I love you. I didn't like how you handled that. But at the same time, it's like, I don't like to pick sides.
Were there moments this season where you felt like you found yourself giving that kind of honest feedback?
Yeah. And then there were times where I felt like this is just like, what is the point? It's like, it does get really, really stressful. Yeah. And then there's times when you like really love someone and someone is like a really good friend to you and you're so close to them, and then you see them do something that you're just like, why did you do that? You're making it so hard for me to have your back.
Is there rumors about any of your cast people potentially going Real Housewives? Is that?
I don't know.
Or not necessarily like straight up rumors, but I feel like there's been some kind of like speculation, like what would it look like if Lala was on, or even like Lisa Vanderpump, like how would that help reinvigorate like the Beverly Hills?
Wasn't Lisa Vanderpump once on the Housewives?
She was, and she was for a long time. I feel like Lisa is kind of like one of the all-time favorites.
Yeah.
There's of course factions of people who don't like her, but I feel like there's a lot of talk online now that like Lisa Rinna is gone, and like there's like some cast shakeups that they want her to go back, but I don't think Lisa wants to go back. I feel like she's kind of like, I do this now. I'm good.
I've been to her house. Like, why? Who needs to go back?
I mean, honestly, how cool is it? Like, how cool would it be to have that level of like success that you could just kind of be like,
Yeah,
take it or leave it.
She's got swans in her front yard. I mean, who needs?
There's a moat.
Yes.
Yeah.
She seems happily married.
Of your other castmates, is there someone who you think would thrive most in that environment?
I guess I don't understand, like, what's the premise of getting cast on Housewives?
I was gonna ask the same question. Don't you have to?
You have
Do you have to be a wife,
or like really rich or something?
Or the appearance of? My understanding is you had to be a wife and look rich.
Yeah, she looks rich. I don't know if she is rich. Maybe.
Lala.
Yeah.
It says all of the cast members have to audition. Yes, these women have to send in audition tapes, go through home interviews, have extensive on-camera tests, and more before coming a housewife. And of course, they have to earn Andy Cohen's stamp of approval.
You know what? It reminds me, did you ever see that video? I hope you guys have seen it. It's so old. It's like YouTube days of the internet where that lady's like, hello and welcome to my home. And she like takes you through every room of her home, and she's like this crazy look. That's what I imagine the audition tape
That's the tape. That's what Andy Cohen has to sign off on.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like there's been a lot of Bachelor audition tapes that had that same vibe. It's like,
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Becky,
They're like
I
sitting
know
on a
what
dock.
it is.
They're like, I'm just a holistic girl.
And I
Oh
am
my
tired
God.
of dating around.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah, I've seen some of those after watching this Bachelor episode. Seen the vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There comes a time in many daters' lives where they say, I'm done accepting less than I deserve. I'm done with the fun, the shenanigans, the BS for some people. And they say, you know what? I want something where I don't have to compromise. I want something that's high quality. I want something that I think will last. And if you are in furniture shopping for the right reasons, then you should turn to Article, because long gone are the days of the furniture you get because it's the cheapest option and it will get the job done. Start investing in some high quality pieces that you like and that you think will grow with you as you continue to evolve in the wonderful being you are.
They have amazing furniture pieces without amazingly high prices. Yeah, they cut out the middleman. That's right. There's no showroom or things like that to up the prices unnecessarily. You can save up to 30% over traditional retail prices, and their furniture is amazing. It's a mid-century Scandinavian industrial and bohemian designs, a very modern aesthetic. I've always got incredible compliments on my Article furniture, and you can too, whether it's indoor, whether it's your living room, whether it's a dining room, bedroom, outdoor furniture. If you want to show that you're ready to commit to a long-lasting relationship in general, think of Article, because it'll show you that you are committed to, commitment. Committed to commitment. Does that make any sense? No.
Yeah, sure.
Article is offering our listeners 50% off your first purchase of $100 or more. To claim, visit article.com/VIALL, and the discount will be automatically applied at checkout. That's article.com/VIALL for $50 off your first purchase of $100 or more. You've been a Bachelor fan for some time now. I know hit or miss various seasons. When was the last season you participated in?
Well, I watched The Bachelorette. Well, I don't remember anyone's names ever. I'd be like, that girl. I watched like that girl. I never know anyone's names.
We got you covered. We got a
it was
TV
like
built
the
into
girl.
a desk.
I think they broke up already. They broke up fast. I think it was the last season of The Bachelorette.
That doesn't
The
necessarily
one with the two
narrow it down.
bachelorettes, or
No, I did not watch that one.
You didn't watch
the one
okay,
before
so
that.
Michelle.
Michelle. Yes.
Yep.
I
They
loved
broke
that.
up.
They
Yeah.
broke up fast. Yeah.
Fairly quickly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nate came on here, talked all about it.
Yeah.
It was an emotional
It
interview.
was good.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. You
Yeah.
cried?
He did.
Oh, yeah.
He went through a lot.
Wow.
Yeah. It was
It's like therapy.
yeah.
Yeah. I actually prefer Bachelor in Paradise
Yeah.
to The Bachelor.
It's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I'm also I'm a Love Island fan, like hardcore. So I like the messiness. I like the switching up partners and things like that. It's less it's less
I think
wholesome, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
It's
Traditional,
more
yeah.
wild, and I like that.
I think they might be getting away from that. I think they
Damn it.
they brought Sean Lowe back.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
So if that's not a sign of
Uh-huh.
what they hope to bring, I don't know what is. We will get into that, but I think the powers that be, all the way up to the tippy top of this show, are determined to find their next Sean Lowe. And I think Clayton was a first stab at it. We didn't even realize Zach played football.
That was
Yeah.
the cringiest, maybe not
reveal.
cringiest, but at the beginning, it's clear that they understand that we don't know a single thing about Zach, which is why they started with, and did you know he was in a band?
Yeah,
it was so showy.
It was
That
also
was
like
weird.
8th grade though. It was like, okay.
Yeah, it was weird.
But I think they are determined to. I think they're going back. They want to play to their base.
Mm-hmm.
And they want to go back to their roots. They are going to cast your Claytons, Zachs, and Sean's until they get one that sticks and pops. And maybe Zach is someone that does. I mean, it's very. They've already let us know that he's found someone. We don't know if that person said yes or they're engaged, but they literally, on episode 1, he said, "I found my person." Right? Like
He said he's falling in love with someone a lot, and that's
Yeah.
I'm sure he says that. He must say that.
They make
to
it really
multiple people.
seem like it's. I think they're really banking on. I think they're going to focus on love stories.
Mhm.
And we'll see how much drama comes up. We'll get into the
Yeah.
We'll get into the episode. Do we have any tea
Some
or
bachelor
news
tea.
or whatever the fuck's going on.
It feels like everyone on my social media is in Dubai. Does anyone else feel that way?
Oh yeah, with Beyonce.
I passed.
You passed on the Dubai trip?
We did. Yeah.
Wow, must be nice.
Yeah. Well, other things going on. Yeah, we got invited to the thing that Jason and Tasha,
Cassie Randolph,
and I think Matt James and Rachel were also there. Yeah, it was like we got invited to, it was really sounded really cool. It was like
It's the Tarte thing, right?
I don't know,
because I saw TikToks.
Yeah, there was that. I don't know if
There's a
there
lot
were
of people
two
there for
events.
Tarte
I don't know if there were two events or what. We were there the one that Beyonce was performing at.
Wow.
That was the one we were invited to. But it was like first class, and then we'll put you up for 2 days. I'm like, I don't want to fly literally across the world for 2 nights and.
Isn't the flight
but
itself
if you're
like
first
a day?
class, you'll sleep.
No, I know.
bed.
Well, Natalie's in Paris. By the way, and I knew that when I proposed to Natalie that she had a trip planned for Paris, which is part of the reason why I did it when I did. But like, don't get engaged when your fiance leaves for 8 days. We're missing the hell out. I mean, it's fun to miss each other, but we're missing the hell out of each other.
Like separation anxiety to the max.
It's been kind of a bummer. So like, not that I regret doing it when I did, but we were both kind of bummed about it. But yeah, she would have had to meet us there, and I certainly didn't want to go without her.
Right.
It's like I could have brought it's like I don't want to bring a friend to that for like 2 days, and I mean,
you and Greg could have cuddled in first class.
But my thought was like, I don't know, maybe incorrectly or not, but my thought was like, I don't know, Dubai will come calling again in the future.
Sure.
Right?
Manifest that.
With Beyonce though?
I don't know, maybe not. My team was like, so it sounds really cool, but like it also has a bit of a fire festival vibe, if we're being honest. And I think I saw a couple of Jason's stories, and it was like, yeah, we saw like Jay-Z at the pool, and he was talking as if like, so yeah, I think Beyonce is actually here. So
like you surprised.
I don't think we were the only ones that were worried, like, is there a chance we could fly halfway across the world to Dubai and it might not live up to like expectations?
Mm-hmm.
You know, that was definitely, it sounds like it was fun and wonderful. And I definitely watching some of Jason's stories had a little bit of FOMO. But
the videos of Beyonce are incredible. The ones that I guess were taken illegally.
Oh, were they?
Yeah.
Oh.
So that's what I heard. I heard it was like no phones allowed, but someone literally like live streamed the whole thing.
Oh, wow. I will say, and then, I ended up going to New York instead.
That was my next bullet point. You want to talk about Andrew S.'s birthday?
Yeah. Andrea had a birthday party. And when Greg was out here for the engagement, he's like, oh, we're having a birthday party now. He was going to be in Paris. I was like, fuck it. Maybe I'll go. And I love New York. I've been busy here with a bunch of work. And like, I figured if I just stay here, I'll just work. So like, maybe I'll just go. And it ended up being a lot of fun. Much easier than going to Dubai. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was great. So I ended up staying with Joe and Serena. And it was a sobering conversation. They're married, but they are planning a wedding. They did a courthouse marriage.
Cool.
I don't know for what purposes, but they did a courthouse marriage. I think it has to do with
Serena's Canadian,
her being Canadian, but they're still very much planning a ceremony and a wedding. So now that I just got engaged, and it was just like, well, you guys might have a similar wedding planning experience to us, like, and I asked for. Do you have any advice or like what's it been like? And they graciously shared their story, and very intimidating. I was a bit shell shocked afterwards.
Planning a wedding is very expensive and very stressful.
Like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like, for anyone who's ever planned a wedding out there, I'm so sorry. It sounds so, but like, yeah. And it just like, talking to Joe and Serena, and they're like, yeah, there's no in between. It sounds like there's just like you either decide you want to throw this like party for your family and friends, and then decide who can come and who doesn't, because like how many people come plays a significant role and how much it costs. And it's just like, do we want to spend all this on one day? But like, I will say, like, in planning the engagement party, like, I'm like thankful and grateful for Natalie, knowing that she had, again, just a couple like requests, but those were like, I wouldn't have done the party if she didn't ask for it, and And the fact that, and I don't know if I would have documented it if she didn't ask for it. And the way, and knowing that she did, like, it made it a really special day.
Yeah.
Like, it made it very memorable. And we've watched the videos 100 times, and it really cemented that day in our memory. And it's like, I would want that. After experiencing that for the engagement party, like, I don't want to sacrifice that, but holy fucking shit. When it comes to planning a wedding.
Are you guys thinking like a big wedding, or?
You know, she's one of 7, I'm one of 10, so family alone, there's that.
That's a lot of people already.
Aren't you one of 11?
One of 11, what did I say?
One of 10.
Oh yeah,
you missed
I
someone.
have 10 siblings, sorry.
Which one was it?
Yeah, list them all out.
And we have a lot of friends, but we're also like, you know, it's like, where do you draw that line?
Well, right, because you don't want anyone's feelings to be hurt, that they were not invited. But at the same time, there's like some groups, I feel like, I've been a bridesmaid a lot. I feel like with my friends, there's always that thing of like, well, we want to cap it at this many people because that's, you know, budget wise what makes sense. But this person's going to be upset if they're not invited. And I feel bad. But if I invite this person from, like, you know, my college,
there's a whole nother, like,
then all
can
the
of
rest
worms.
of them have to be invited, and then that's another 20 people, and then it just keeps going.
Yeah.
So
It
I feel for you.
It was
Sorry.
a fun weekend. Great to see some people. Joe and Serena were very generous with their insight, but it was
mhm.
they like, we talked at their house, and then we went to the party, and Serena at one point was like, I'm sorry if I really scared you.
It's like that meme where you're in the corner and you're just like
no,
nobody
it's
knows
okay.
how
I
much a
needed to
wedding
hear it.
actually costs.
I mean, it was just a lot. So anyway, I mean, I know Natalie and I are looking forward to, like, planning and talking about it. We haven't had a ton of time to do that yet, but whew.
Yeah.
Do you know where it's going to
Boy.
be? Like if you'd have it in the LA area?
No, we don't. Yeah. I mean, I think it could be anywhere, honestly. I mean, we've thought about here. We've thought about, obviously, our hometowns. But my understanding is that you got to find the venue. It's like, I've heard, pick your season, find the venue. Those are the two things you need to
because you
start
have to
with.
book it like a
And then
year in advance.
And everything else kind of falls into place after that. And then depending on the venue, that can determine how much flexibility you have with other variables of planning the wedding.
Mm-hmm.
So honestly, like, we could get married anywhere. Like, the way I look at it, and also I need to confirm all of this with my fiance. So, like,
By the time she's home, it's planned. Like, everything's done.
He's
no,
like,
I'm
actually, no.
but like, we've been, like, obviously she's been gone, so, like, we haven't, like, been planning, but we've been, like, you know, throwing out ideas and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But, like, I guess could be a world where it could be in some, like, random state, because it's like, you know, so many people are going to have to travel anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So
Is it worth just finding a midpoint for people?
is there you know, if we find an amazing venue, you know,
Should we go to, like, Hawaii or somewhere fun?
like, I don't know if Joe and Serena's venue is public, but, like, their place is, it's not like a destination wedding like it's in Mexico, but it's also in a place that I don't believe either of them have any immediate ties to. It's like, yeah, why not? You know, so we'll see. But I'm very intimidated and very scared. Fun weekend, eye-opening.
Yeah.
And I will say, after I got home from New York and Jason was still tweeting about being in Dubai, I was so glad I didn't go.
Mm-hmm.
And I wouldn't, you know, we have a show to do. Just
You have a Helix mattress to come home to.
Oh my God, yes, I do. Yeah. How long of a flight is like? It's a 16-hour flight to LA. And the time zone, what's the time? It's like,
Right. I feel like the 2 days that you'd be there.
I feel
Dubai is
like I'd have
12
been
hours
gone for
ahead.
5 days, but I'd only have been in Dubai for like
two,
They're
two.
12 hours ahead. So it's 9:49 p.m. in Dubai right now.
tomorrow
Tomorrow.
or tonight.
Tonight.
That's it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, you make it up on the way back, but I still think it's
Time travel.
having
literally-
time
It's
travel.
literally
Instantaneous.
time travel.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd like relive the last.
Well, when we flew back
Yeah.
from Paris, we woke up our flight was at 8 in the morning, and we had a direct flight, and we timed it perfectly. But we landed at 11 in the morning, LA.
Mhm.
So it was like a 3-hour flight.
Have you ever been to like Australia?
Yeah.
Because you cross the line or whatever, so you literally live the whole like
day twice or something?
You live the day twice when you come back. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you lose it full day on the way there.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Just
it's
gone.
really wild. Yeah.
Evaporates.
It's already like tomorrow or whatever.
I also feel like time changes are the kinds of things that make me tempt fate and like be like, I just shouldn't sleep tonight and go straight to the airport. Like
Yeah.
risky decisions like that.
No, I mean when we flew back from Paris, we planned it a day ahead of time. So we the night before, again, we had that flight in the morning. So the day before our flight, we slept till like 1 PM.
How do you do that? Did you drug yourself?
Blackout curtains, we were staying up late in the blackout curtains.
Little eye mask.
And then we had a late dinner at like 10 or 11, went to draft, and then we stayed up all night, watched movies, and we went straight to the airport. And then, we were lucky enough to have been given first class tickets on the way home. So we had the whole beds flying down.
That's
and
the best.
so we got in on the flight and popped some edibles and woke up, and it was like we were basically back on LA time.
Incredible.
Yeah. So you can, I have fun trying to like time out and not have
See, I feel
jet
like
lag.
I always use anything like that as an excuse to be like, oh, I just flew back, so I'm just gonna like lay in my bed all day.
Oh yeah, I mean I didn't do anything that day.
Just like, no, I'm not doing anything.
Speaking of dinners, or I'm not sure how to make this transition, there was a Dumois submission about someone who saw Jesse Palmer out at dinner. Didn't have a great experience, they said. I very nicely and sheepishly said, I'm so sorry to bother you, but my friend is getting married and this is her bachelorette and she loves the Bachelor franchise. Would you take a picture with her? And he very curtly said no. And I said, are you sure? And he said, yes. That was at this restaurant in Carbone, Miami.
The are you sure sounds like a threat, given that it ended up on Demois.
I fervently disagree.
That noise was my favorite noise of all time.
You have to, this girl this person who went up to Jesse while he was in the middle of dinner, while he was eating his food.
I'm not defending the actions. I just don't think that's a threatening
She could have
thing to
also been
say.
like, are you sure? Like,
yeah, like, are you sure?
She's really, like, this is her bachelorette.
Maybe. It's possible,
She
but
was
we
like,
only have
bad
text.
things will happen
Are
if
you
you don't take this photo.
Are you
She
sure about
literally
that?
went to Demois
She did.
and talk shit and imply that he was...
She's treating him like he's James Corden, like he's being some kind of like monster to wait staff, when it's like, no, like, girl, I get that it's a special occasion for you, but it's always someone's sister's like engagement.
Yeah.
And-
There's always something.
Like, if someone is... you're in the middle of a bite, just ask. And don't say, hey, I'm sorry to bother you. No, you're not. Like,
Not
you're
sorry enough to
no.
not do it.
You gotta, like,
Yeah, I feel like why she should have just waited till he was done eating.
That's what my whole point was.
Yeah.
Wait until he's gotten the check, he's up and leaving, then approach him. Not in the middle
in
of
the middle of dinner, and like, who
Yeah.
knows what he's talking about? It was a one.
Maybe he's not supposed to be there. Maybe he didn't want any photos because he was like didn't tell you.
No, and then like if it's in the middle of dinner, it's just like, you get up, and once you take one picture, people. There's always another ask. I would have taken it solely because of knowing
Fear.
of fear that it's going to end up on Demois to just be like, hey, so, like I almost never say no.
Oh, I don't.
unless
I
there's
never
like
say
a-
no
But
unless
I
I
actually,
like literally am like gonna miss my flight
yeah.
or something that's
Yeah.
like very pressing.
But I
don't
don't have
say
an
no.
issue with Jesse's saying no if it's at
Yeah.
dinner, and like, are you sure?
Sometimes
yeah,
people just don't want to take a photo, and that's okay.
Yeah. And we don't know how she said, are you sure? But like, yeah, he is like, I hate that person asked, are you sure? Because it kind of sounds like a threat, knowing that it ended up on Demois.
I feel like it's more guilting. Like it's
You
like,
sure?
are you sure? Like, poor me.
Yeah, it is an interesting follow-up. I don't know.
Are you sure? Are you sure?
The correct response would have just said,
no
no worries, thank you, have a nice dinner.
Yeah.
Sorry for bothering you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who knows what he was going through?
Yeah,
I mean,
totally.
he just said no. So because there's only 2 words there, no, and then when she says, "Are you sure?" he says, "Yes." So there's no. It's not like he said, "Get the fuck out of my face. Like
started screaming.
No, I'm sorry. I'm eating dinner.
Also, like the verbs she used in her Dumois submission, like, when your friend is talking to you on the phone and you can tell they're really trying to sell their side of the story, and like
curtly,
they're like like the stage directions that they're adding, like I sheepishly, like meekly walked over, and then he brutally, like, it's just like, okay, like you're describing a very neutral interaction, but you're projecting so much.
And knowing it ended up on Dumois, and when I read the "Are you sure?" I'm thinking, "Are you sure?" Because I'm fucking going to Moi if I don't get this picture. That's you're right. Maybe she was like, "Are you sure?"
It's annoying either way.
Yeah, I don't know. My experience with Jesse's a very lovely and nice, charming guy who probably just wants to eat.
Don't we all?
Yeah.
Tagliatelle.
Do you remember when we talked about Kristen Cavalieri and Tyler Cameron on New Year's Eve and their videos that Jason posted of them dancing, and everyone was wondering, is it a date? Is this
still going on? Are they dating?
Kristen confirmed that it was a date. Not just friends, it was a date. So she was filming a promo video and got asked a question, who's the last person you went on a date with? And she said, my last date was public, so if you really want to know, I guess you can Google it.
So why be cryptic at that point?
I don't know. You said you were there when they met, right?
I feel like, I was part of the like inception of Christina and Tyler. So
where? Set the stage.
Me and Tom did a cocktail segment on Daily Pop. And that was when she was hosting, and Tyler did another segment like after us. Or maybe it was before, because I remember we were in the dressing room and we were watching them, and everybody on set, like on camera and off, was like kind of like shipping them.
Okay.
And then they were flirting like in their segment, and like she could not stop giggling. It was actually really cute. And then I think that it was like they exchanged numbers that day or something crazy. And so, I mean, that was a long time ago. So if they're going on a date like New Year's, like that's been going on for a while.
I did find it interesting in a recent podcast episode, though. Matt and Rachel asked him about his dating, and he said he was like, oh, last night I took out this girl that I went to school with and we reconnected. And he was saying, I'm kind of, dating around and dating multiple people until I find that special thing with that special someone. So I'm like, how does Kristen feel about this?
Not Kristen, I guess.
Yeah. Or at least she's not the only woman on his roster currently.
Wow. I wouldn't want to hear that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bold of him to keep that in.
Yeah.
But
is there an interpretation of that where he's like, I'm just waiting to get to know everyone better to find out if they're the one?
I'm sure you could look at it in
or
a
is it much
light.
more of the implication of like, haven't met her yet, but happy to have some people holding down the fort until it is.
But we'll find her.
I mean, I will be surprised if Christian and Tyler become like a Instagram official item. It could still have been a date, and neither of them could have been all that invested in the outcome. But like,
could just be a fun New Year's Eve.
Let's go on a date.
Yeah.
Who knows? I don't know, but I don't.
They're not endgame.
I doubt she's losing sleep over it. And my guess is he probably didn't even think of it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's January now, and if that was their last date, that means that was a few weeks ago.
The thing is though, like if you have a roster in January, that is risky because Valentine's Day is going to come along and you're going to have some explaining to do.
It's cuffing season.
Oh.
Yeah, so.
You think?
Yeah, what do you do on
Kristen
Valentine's Day if you have multiple
Valentine's
people?
From Tyler Cameron because they went on one date?
Well, I think it's like a no-win situation in terms of like you do just need to like, if you're seeing multiple people.
What do you do?
Yeah.
Who gets Valentine's Day?
Yeah, it's like.
No one.
No one?
Yeah, I feel like you have to do no one because if you pick
I don't think I've
one,
ever dated multiple people at a time, so I've never had this conundrum.
I don't feel like Tyler's dating multiple people. Like he went on, from all we know, he went on one date. He went on one group date on New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's like,
But then he said that thing about the school friend.
Yeah.
Are they FaceTiming?
He said that he was going to take her out for another date. The school friend. Yeah.
Oh.
Uh-huh. Because he was saying that they went out the night before when he was recording. He said, yeah, I'll go out with her again.
How long ago was that?
The episode dropped late last week.
Oh, so after New Year's.
Long after,
So maybe she gets Valentine's Day.
School friend gets Valentine's Day.
I don't think anyone's getting Valentine's Day.
Tyler's getting Valentine's Day.
Tyler's getting Valentine's Day.
Final thing I wanted to touch on is Zach he's been doing a lot of interviews about this season, what we can expect. I know we talked about, it's kind of becoming a blast from the past. And he said, I would tell the critics and the fans, if you want to watch something or this show and actually see love and no bullshit, not a scene or not an act, then I think you're really going to love this season. If you are someone that wants the unnecessary dumb drama, all right, but I might not be your guy. Plain and simple.
Wow.
Zach's setting some upfront expectations.
He's not here for the bullshit.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound like the same guy that I watched in this premiere. Like that, I would. Well, I mean, obviously, there's a whole season to come, but yeah, this guy in this quote in this interview seems a lot less. I don't know,
like nice guy,
proper. Yeah,
like
more
can I kiss
authentic.
you now energy?
Nice guy energy. Like, yeah.
Guy from episode 1 would have said BS, and this guy said bullshit. So that's just a different vibe.
Exactly.
Episode 1, he's sheepish. This quote, he's curt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I sheepishly went to the mansion.
Yeah.
So no drama. Yeah. No bouncy castles. No naps.
No cheese.
No cheese.
No shrimp.
We'll see. I don't know. What do we think about that?
I mean, I personally, the whole time I was watching the premiere, which obviously we'll talk about the whole episode, but I was like, I don't trust this guy. I don't believe him.
Really?
I'm not buying it. I want to see how this guy is with his friends. What's the like dumb jokes he makes when he's drunk at the, tailgate? Because this is like
This
very
prim and proper.
I'm not. Yeah.
You don't buy it.
I don't buy it because there's no way that guy gets a buy in life and has friends and is just like this all the time. There's no way.
And when you say this for the people listening.
Oh yeah, it's
Gestures like
arms.
robot.
It's like the Ken doll. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't necessarily get that read from him. I've never met him. He's 6'3", 6'4". Did you know that?
I think he's
What?
6'4".
Yeah.
Wow.
I heard that. I found that over the weekend, which
He didn't see.
that drastically changes my like. It's like, okay, now I get it a little bit more.
Yeah.
I mean, I think a lot of guys don't read very tall on camera. I know I didn't.
Yeah, 'cause
How does that
Scaled
affect
up.
anything is my question.
It does,
Allie.
though.
No, but in Nick's opinion of him.
Because, a lot of people have had a lot of different opinions about Zach being the Bachelor, from his charm to his looks and him being 5'10" versus 6'4". And when we watch this show, we ask ourselves, are 30 women going to like fall over heels and fight for this guy? And when he's 6'4", that's a different energy than if he was 5'10". I hate that for my 5'10" kings out there. I didn't make the rules, but we all know that matters.
Yeah, I
and when
agree.
they come out of a
Sadly.
limo and there's this kind of tall, giant, handsome man that is Zach, who's, he's a big, kind of intimidate. I've seen
That man's got some hair on his chest.
I've seen women
yeah. I saw
respond to
that.
tall dudes before, and it's like a 2-point swing at least.
Yeah. It does kind of add to it adds. I didn't realize he was that tall.
Yeah, he's tall.
Interesting. Yeah.
He's a big dude. I hear. Yeah.
Well, I guess. Well, yeah, like Jesse Palmer's got to be super tall.
Yeah,
and they
NFL
were like same height.
yeah, they were the same height.
So that makes sense.
Jesse's at least 6'3", maybe 6'4". Yeah, they were the same height.
On the internet, it says he's 6'2", Jesse. I don't know.
Well,
Well, he's got the hair.
Either way,
and
Zach,
his hair. And his hair.
I think Jesse might be a little taller than me, but on camera he looked the same height as Jesse.
Yeah.
I heard 6'4" over
Might
the
have lifts in
weekend,
his shoes.
and after seeing the first episode, I was comparing Jesse and Zach, and I settled on maybe he's probably 6'3".
Where do they get all these tall people for The Bachelor?
Oh, it's always
They grow them.
they
just-
grow
they
them.
They have a
It's
little
like
farm.
they only cast,
They started 20-something years ago.
No, they only cast for the most part super tall men for that reason. They just know that as long as he's tall,
There's like that extra something.
there's an extra
yeah.
But
attraction.
It's interesting, though, because if everybody's tall, nobody's tall. which is, I think, part of the reason it's such a shock when you're like, oh my God, he's 6'4". Because like usually you'd think that like a 6'4" man would like really stand out in the group, but he was in very good company on Rachel and Gabby's season.
Well, sure. Well, that's why it's hard to tell why if these guys are all tall because they are all in fact tall. But I'm saying for either the Bachelorettes and all these tall guys, or if, you know, when the Bachelorettes are chasing one bachelor, it makes a difference.
Wow.
There it is.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But yeah, you don't. We'll keep an eye on Zach for you.
I want to see his like real, you know, I don't know. I guess it's just like, I think that when you're dating somebody, you can really tell like who that person, like if you just go on a date one-on-one, I could very easily, you know, be really putting my best foot forward, but you wouldn't really know me until you saw the way I am around my friends.
Or just
and
when
that's
you're in
what
a bad
I feel
mood.
like.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Or
so I feel like
yeah.
we're getting his obviously like best foot forward, but I would like to see like what he's like, you know, when he's pissed off or bummed out or around his buddies, and like what kind of stuff do his buddies make fun of him for? Well, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we all our friends all, at least, you know, we all have our little things that we have, like our inside jokes. Like what are his inside jokes with his friends?
That, I feel like that's an amazing first date question. Like not right out of the gate, but like what do your friends make fun of you for?
Yeah.
Because it's like a little bit of insight, because everyone should have something, or they're being dishonest.
Yeah.
Or they take themselves way too seriously. If that's not like part of your friendship, then yeah.
Yeah. And that's what I want to see with him, which maybe it'll happen as the season goes on.
I don't know if we're going to see much of it. I think we're going to get full
very
on good guy.
fairy tale.
Yeah.
I think he's Prince Charming to us. Like
again,
they want
like,
him to be
they
Prince
brought
Charming.
Sean Lowe back after how many seasons to do the whole like
advice thing.
And he is very much the beacon of success when it comes to the franchise. You know, we have Ari and Lauren, but Ari didn't pick Lauren.
Mm-hmm.
He picked Becca, and it was a really messy finale. And then do we have any? Matt James is still with Rachel, but they're not even engaged, and that was messy too.
Jason and Molly?
But that was before. But even then, he didn't pick Molly first. He picked someone else. So Sean Lowe is still the only bachelor to get engaged and married and have children with the person he originally picked. So yeah, I guess it's just, but like, it's, you know, and he comes on and gives the same shtick advice. It's like, oh, I didn't know. I was surprised. And he gives the whole like, you know, don't fall in love night one, you know, advice. Like, it's,
and then helping him in the shower, which I was.
They got a little goofy, I guess. I don't know, but to me, it's just like more the powers that be, them bringing him back. It's like they're going to find their other Sean Lowe no matter what, and they're not going to care about what anyone else says or the critics until they find it. And I don't think they're going to worry much at all about who their lead is or what they bring to the table.
Dang.
It's just going to be
There's a way where I do respect that strategy, because I think there's just other reality shows where there's more manufactured drama. Like you look at a show like The Ultimatum, or just like, you know, like even Love Island, where it's just supposed to be more of a shit show baked into the structure. And so it kind of makes sense to me that Bachelor would be like, okay, you know, we were trying to like amp up the drama for all these seasons, and it feels like, you know, no matter how much we amp up the drama within this setting, it's never going to compare quite to these other show formats. So like, why doesn't we just like return to our roots, give you guys the love story, America's hero, etc.
Yeah, I think
even the billboard out there
is
like Mr.
thing.
Right Reasons.
Oh,
That's like the little
really?
tagline for him. Yeah.
it's a lot to live up to.
It was like, tis the
Sorry, I
season
can't.
for Mr. Right Reasons or something. That was the tagline.
Guys, I don't know. I can't.
So
Come on
like
now.
if he is engaged, so we can expect him not to do any public, not to monetize the experience at all, or what is our standard and expectation of right reasons?
Mr. Right Reasons.
Right, exactly. Like
Compared
he
to-
turns down every opportunity that comes to him because of being the Bachelor, or what? He just goes and is like, I have my normal job now still. Do you really like,
Only doing it for love.
There's no way.
We'll see.
I don't know.
I mean,
if I meet him, I'll be like, you're stupid to do that if you do that. You have got to take opportunities that are in front of you.
Yeah, we'll see. I've heard he's a nice guy. I've never met him, but and I will say from the little bit I've seen, my alarm bells go off. My alarm balls.
Manscaped.
My alarm balls go off when people are disingenuous, and I feel like I have a pretty good read on people who say things just because they know it sounds good. And not that I don't think Zach is unaware that this all sounds good, but I feel like he is more on the genuine side.
Yeah, I don't think he's like
than a completely different person outside of the cameras.
Yeah. I don't think he's like pretending or like playing a character. I just think there's like definitely more to him that is just not.
God, we hope.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that there's some things that he says that to me are dating red flags, but to him is like not at all.
Please say.
Okay, so when he said that he wants to model his relationship after his parents who never fight and they've been together since forever. That's nice for his parents. I'm sure his parents have a lovely relationship and there's reasons why they don't fight, but then to say you want to model your relationship after that, to me is just saying like, okay, you're looking for a woman to fill a role and you have like, I think, an unrealistic expectation of what it is to
be in a relationship
and grow with that person, because these women are 26. They are going to grow. They're going to, become, if you're together for 30 years, as you're saying, you want to be like your parents, like you're going to grow, you're going to evolve, you're going to change. And those things are going to have your difficult discussions. Tragedy will happen in people's lives. You have to be able to handle it together. And you can't just be like, oh, I want to be with my parents because they never fight. I'm like, that?
You're right. At best,
I'm sure he thinks that's like the best thing ever.
Well,
but
at best case, if his perception, if this is actually his honest read of his parents, then best case, then it's a little, I guess, naive of him. Because my parents, I never saw a fight, right?
Mm-hmm.
But my parents, as an adult, I learned made a conscious choice to like make sure that their discussions and disagreements were
private. There's always like a unified front.
Like he has to have an understanding that his parents' relationship is different than what they are showing their children.
Yeah, and so
he's not a part of it.
The question is,
and they're not in the marriage.
Does he think they never fought?
Than he is, and whoever he's going to be with.
Does he think they never fought?
Right.
And he thinks like what he saw of his parents is exactly like his model, and as soon as there's conflict, he's like, oh God, not like my parents, or is this? Yeah.
Or I wonder if the only other thing I could see is him defining fighting as like raising your voices, getting emotional, being reactive.
That too.
Sure.
As opposed to like navigating conflict. Because I do agree where it's like when you say, I don't want to fight at all, like that strikes me as, okay, so you don't want a partner who can challenge you, who can kind of
push
like,
you to be your best self.
Exactly. Like kind of engage with you on a deeper level.
Yeah.
But maybe he means it as like wants to maintain a level of like respect and like calmness.
Which that's great.
Yeah, I don't want to raise my voice in anger. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you would like a little bit more
like
articulation
like
on that
nuance
topic.
or honesty.
Yeah, rather than I just don't want to fight.
Right, and I just want to model it.
It seems
after
a bit
someone
naive
else's
to say I don't want to fight. Like there's more to that.
Yeah,
maybe we'll find out more. We'll ask him.
The statement of I want to find a wife. I mean a wife. Just anyone, any wife. Just find a wife. Just pick one up out of a. Like, what do you mean?
Me
a
one
wife. You want to find your wife, your partner, not just a partner, a wife.
Yeah.
I hate that language. It's that like every time that I feel like Jesse Palmer said that a lot in the show too. Like
it's a very Bachelor line.
I think
it's a criticism of the Bachelor as much as it is their leads.
Right. Like this isn't just like
find a wife. I think I think they're going back to their old school roots.
They are.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't. I would love for them to cast a polyamorous like.
Honestly, I'd be so here for like a LGBTQ.
They never will.
No.
I mean,
in Australia, they are.
LGBTQ, possibly, maybe. If I'm being honest, I don't think they will.
I think
I liked the Australian one. I had to change my VPN to watch that, but it was worth it.
I really want to watch the Bisexual Bachelorette. Like, I think that would be phenomenal. I want
to know how they did it. in terms of logistics.
I feel like there's also just that thing of like the very premise of the show, the way you make people kind of go cuckoo crazy is that there's like one viable option for any given person. And when you have queer people, like you just can't have like there's not one person who can have a monopoly on that sexual appeal.
Well, so the fun part about the Australian Bachelorette was one of the people who came out of the limo was one of the girls from the Bachelor season. So like she had been on the season of The Bachelor and then became the Bachelorette. And she had really vibed and like hit it off with one of the other girls in the house, and they'd been completely platonic, but like definitely had like vibes. And then she joined her season and like came out of the limo, and she was like, "Surprise, we're back."
Yeah, I think they're gonna keep casting pageant queens and nurses and teachers.
I mean, that being said, I did like a lot of the girls that
I was really impressed by the women. I feel like they have a lot of personality. I feel like I was really encouraged by this episode. It seemed like they have a lot of potential stars. Like watching it, I thought, like there's a lot of star quality in these women for sure.
Yeah, I was actually really impressed with all of their like backstories and personalities and just like except for licking him.
That was
absolutely.
Should we just get into
Lecca the liquor?
Should we just kind of critique some of our favorite limo entrance? Is it always entrance or exits? I can't,
I know.
They're getting out of the limo, but they're
like
pulling
when you go to the airport
mansion.
and it says arrivals and departures, and you're like, but I'm arriving for my departing flight.
My dad
like,
makes that joke chaos every time.
I did really like. I made notes in my phone. And I see you guys also. I loved the like group affirmation in the first limo.
Oh my gosh, the little chant.
Did we like that?
I loved that. I thought that was so sweet. And
I
loved the like supportive vibe of each other.
That happened, within 30 minutes. Because before these women got into the limo, I'm assuming they still do it the same way, but when they line you up to go to the limo, they will line you up and they'll tell you not to look around. So like you're literally standing behind someone and you only see their back. And then there's someone behind you and you're not, they're like,
why aren't you supposed to look?
Because they want your honest, authentic reaction of the people you're competing with when you get into the limo and there's cameras in the limo. But so this is all to say this chant kind of manifested itself within with less than 30 minutes of
so they really vibed fast.
They really or someone was the lead
took control,
kind of like the ringleader of doing that. But yeah, it was
I loved that. I like the idea of them being like supportive of each other and not.
There seems to be that energy early on, for sure. Yeah.
I love that.
We'll see if it lasts.
Well, I feel like when we're talking about like these lasting relationships, like there's like very few examples of lasting romantic relationships. In terms of life-changing friendships, like the amount of love that has come from like platonic support of people who meet as contestants, like it kind of makes sense to be like, let's set the tone with the knowledge that we probably will be really good friends, and this will be a bonding experience for us.
It's actually probably way more likely that they'll remain friends than it is that they'll actually
find love,
marry that guy.
Go on The Bachelor to make friends, folks.
Yeah, exactly.
Bumble BFF is so last year. Go on reality TV.
What did we think were some of the standout limo entrances?
Well, I think we have to address Jess first, because we know historically the first person out of the limo is usually a significant person.
Is a ringer.
And we noted her for being, one of the younger contestants when we went through bios.
They confirmed that she was in fact first, because sometimes the first aired and the first in reality is not always the same. For example, on my season, Danielle L was last out of the limo, and it was aired as if she went out first out of the limo.
Oh.
And she.
Who was the actual first person out of your limo?
Corinne.
Hey, yo.
And you would have thought they would have led with that anyways.
Yeah.
But yeah, she was both first in reality and first on air. Yeah. Which and it's not they definitely have they had high hopes for her when they told her to get out of the limo first, and it seems like maybe
she delivered.
My guess is she lived up to expectations, but she has something to her,
Yeah.
Would you if I said towards the end of the episode I really liked her.
Yeah.
But I at the very end, I thought to myself, there's a bit of of wedding crashers, don't ever leave me because I'll find you energy at the very end. Like if it came out, I wouldn't be shocked. I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but I was just like,
yeah, I don't know.
She seems very sweet.
I made color codes here, and she was not one of my favorites.
Not one of your favorites.
No.
Okay. So Jessica did not make Ariana's top.
Love you, girl. She's from Orlando. I'm from Melbourne. Listen, you know, we could go to Disney together. She does seem very sweet. Just in terms of like the women that I was like really vibing with, she was not one of them.
And that could change.
That could change. Yes, yes.
We have limited information.
But she's very lovely. I feel mean even saying that.
Yeah, we don't know. I mean, we don't know.
I'll be like, no, I loved everyone.
But
he got a lot of edible gifts. I'm like between the champagne, between the maple syrup and the coffee. I'm like, we have a lot of things going into his body.
Yeah. I'm not into the like over the top entrances.
Yeah, it felt like we saw less buffoonery this season. Like usually there's that montage where it's like and then it's like people coming out in these crazy costumes.
Other than the party bus, there wasn't any like, I guess there
was a pig.
Yeah.
Which I actually kind of thought because I like animals, I thought the pig was cute.
Yeah.
But like, I guess it's just like, okay, you're meeting, you're so nervous. To then fumble around with like this like gimmick that you're doing.
Yeah.
I think takes away from, I get you want to be memorable, but I feel like the best way to be memorable is to like keep it simple and be confident and just like really make that eye contact and like have that moment. So I always feel like the over the top, the gimmicks kind of, they're fun to watch on TV, but like as far as like being like a person for the, I don't know. I'm like
kind of indifferent.
I'm like,
about
just
them.
be confident.
Yeah.
And just like, I don't know. Does production kind of go like, oh, well, pigs are your thing. Would you ever bring a pig?
No, it's more like, hey, do you have any ideas? We can literally do anything within reason.
Oh wow! What if everybody?
Then from that, like I think it's more. I think most people do what I did. It's like, oh, I just want to like come out and be boring.
Yeah.
All right. But yeah, so they invite you to come up with ideas. They might suggest ideas. And if you're like, no, I just want to like do my thing. No one argued with me. No one was like, no, you should do this or.
See, I feel like with our show, we get a lot from production of like, I mean, they're like, let us know if this isn't something you would do, but we would love. We would love.
Sure.
It would be great for us if you did this.
I think that early on, they're probably not using that language with them. I think it's a little bit more.
Yeah.
We think this would be good for you.
Is it?
There's not a lot of honesty about. There's not a lot of transparency from producers on
never.
saying we would love. This is for us.
Yeah.
That kind of energy might not come till like later in the season where there's
a
rapport.
I also don't trust the like, this would be great for you. I'm like,
how do you know?
It's not.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
But
I found it a huge positive that when Mercedes brought Henry the pig, that Zach immediately like reached for the leash and was like helping her bring the pig in. Like, I don't know why that was such like, not a turn on, but it was definitely, I was like,
chivalrous.
Impressive.
Yeah. See, I felt like that was like a really great, like that interaction. There was that interaction. There was one more that I'm blanking on where I was like, ooh, that's him. Like that's him being like really him.
Yeah.
And I liked that a lot.
Was it when he got his ear licked?
Oh God.
Who else?
When he cringed.
Wait, can we talk about when he literally kissed Bailey?
Oh my God, yeah.
On her entrance.
Yeah.
She comes in wearing a name tag, a very funny, like a little
callback.
AFR callback. And then he says, I feel so bad about that. She says, do you? They stop,
also,
look at each other,
why did
and
she
then
ask
just
that?
kiss.
But I wanted it to be a little bit more smooth.
I liked her a lot.
It just kind of reached in and pecked her. It was just like.
Well, it wasn't as bad as his kiss with Madison, which she called subpar. And he said that it sat wrong with him. So I was disappointed by Madison.
Could you imagine?
I liked her as a North Dakotan. I liked her entrance. I liked the oofda. We say that in Minnesota too. I had high hopes. And then
she really
crashed and burned.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That was
tough.
I feel like she was the classic example of like drinking champagne all night, not getting enough sleep, and the stuff that's like maybe even like small, really getting to her. I feel like could tell early on, you know what? He's not vibing with me. And she just panicked.
Again, back to
that sucks for her.
Back to old school. I think my thought while watching, was it Madison? Her name is.
Yeah.
Was this is the first contestant, not even woman, contestant from on night one that seems noticeably drunk in several seasons.
Yeah.
That used to be kind of like
no.
who's going to be the drunk person night one? Like that was almost like almost routine.
I even noticed that like when they were on the party bus and
she was definitely drunk.
Pouring champagne into people's throats. But I was thinking about that because we always talk about they implemented that 2-drink rule. So 2 drinks an hour.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, we haven't seen like kind of a partying sequence like this in a long time. And like, are we not obeying the rule now? Does this count as your drink? Because I poured it down your throat.
Right.
Like,
I don't.
It seemed a bit looser.
Those are good questions, but
I liked that sequence for that reason. It felt loose.
Yeah. I was like, get them in the club. Like, enough of this mansion.
Yeah.
We just haven't seen that night one where it's just like you're watching it and you're just like, this person's drunk.
Oh, yeah.
I thought Christina Mandel looked kind of sloshed sometimes. There were sometimes where
that girl scares me.
She was first name, last name.
Also, yeah. What deal? What contract did she sign, Miss Content Creator, that her full name was on her little title?
Yeah.
Everyone else just has a first name and maybe a last initial. But you best believe Christina Mandel had her whole name on there.
Yeah, I noticed that.
How?
Watching it, she's my front runner for next Bachelorette. Right off the gates.
Wow.
She has a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Emily Maynard vibes.
Yeah, we love a good mom as the Bachelorette.
Emily Maynard had
mommy blogger.
We haven't had a mom for the Bachelorette. I mean, that's you're in the front runner just by default. Like, there's been a lot of moms who didn't become the Bachelorettes and didn't go far, but like, again, like these producers don't know who's going to perform. They don't know who's going to show up and get nervous.
Yeah.
But I do know that anyone with a kid is immediately very compelling.
Well, she's not only, well, the kid, and then
she's incredibly charming. I thought she was hilarious.
She was hilarious, but like, I'm also like hilarious, and also like, I don't like, there was a moment where it was like her and the other girl had the same dress with different colors.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't read if she's like funny nice or if she's like funny mean.
I couldn't read her with Brianna either when Brianna came in with the rose and she was saying, oh, there's roses on your dress?
Yes.
She toes the line.
Yes.
I can't tell if she's funny or mean.
So far, I thought funny.
The thing that kind of made me feel positively about her is when like she just walks in and she's like, yeah, like I like to party. And one of the girls was like, yeah, I love that. We were like, is this a party bus driver? And then she was like, do I look like a bus driver?
Yeah, but even that.
And then the girl went, no. And she went, I don't see why not, girl. Like, caught the other girl being like, why? What does a bus driver look like?
Yeah.
No, I think she's very savvy and clever. And I think
she is very clever. I think that's why she scares the shit out of me.
Yeah, and she keeps people on their toes.
She's powerful.
Now imagine her.
I'm on my toes.
And now imagine that energy as the Bachelorette.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Fun.
That would be incredible.
Would be fun.
Yeah, someone who can kind of like keep people on their toes. Oh, what do you mean by that? Oh, I'm just kidding. Like really.
Yeah.
Whew. Yeah, and
her drawings, her little drawings of the on the party bus, which she was like, you have to pick, like, do you like mountains or beach?
Yeah.
And they said that all the opposite things.
Yeah, but her responses to all of it was funny. She's very good at she'd crush an improv. She's very good at yes and. She is. She always has a response. She's never like, oh.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how she like all the layers to her.
I was a bit concerned when she was doing like the this or that questions because the last one was because they were all formatted, dinosaurs, dragons, mountains, beach.
Yeah.
And then she was like, kiss me. And I was like, or what? Like, what's the other one? And then she was like, yes or no. And I was like, okay, great. And I was like, what's the other option?
Yeah.
Quick blowjob in the party bus. Like,
she's gonna go top 4 for sure.
Yeah. That's a hometown situation right there.
Oh, to meet the daughter.
Mm-hmm.
I also would if there's a reveal that her daughter was the one who helped her come up with those questions, because dragon or dinosaurs, that's a kid written all over it.
Yeah
maybe, but
yeah, she
also seems clever enough to like come up with it on her own. She did that in her hotel room. Waiting.
Unlike the what's it called? Stationery in the Best Western.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, she had like 3 or 4 days, and they brought her some stationery and some markers. And
yeah.
she made it there.
Yeah. She's something.
She's got to be a front runner for the Bachelorette. Because
right
I
out
don't
the gate, huh?
I don't think Zach's all that into her. He'll be into her enough to bring her along.
Yeah.
She's for the show. She's not for Zach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I almost think that I don't know if he could keep up with her.
Oh
yeah.
No, I don't think so.
Like,
Yeah,
I
I
don't know
wasn't
that he
sure.
could rally it back.
Yeah, exactly.
I honestly wasn't sure if they were gonna kiss on the party bus. I didn't have that same kind of like magnetic
Yeah.
kissy vibes as he had with many other women this
He kissed a
episode.
lot
of kissing.
A lot of ladies.
Yeah.
We don't like that, or
No, go for it. I mean, I like it. Well, again, Love Island's my favorite. I like kiss. Go ahead, kiss. Go ahead, do it all. I like that. But I was surprised that he did that many. I mean,
who is the
it's like
girl?
4 or 5 girls.
Who was the girl in the package who talked about she got cheated on? And
Oh, Katie. Didn't know my ex was here with the trash.
yeah.
I liked her.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
I like her.
I feel like she's
from Austin too, right?
She is going to. I feel like every date she goes on, she's going to talk about her being cheated on.
Well, it's like that's their thing that she's everybody has to have their thing, right?
Yeah, and I think she's already decided this is her thing.
That's a lame thing.
Yeah.
But I did like her a lot, and they're both from Austin. I thought their kiss was good from the outside. Obviously I wasn't in it, but yeah, I was vibing with her.
Yeah, I like her. What also impressed me was
Plus, they could save money on like the hometown date situation because they could just one trip to Austin and just like knock out all of that. I love her.
I was going to say
love
what
her.
impressed me about
Brianna.
Brianna, is it Brianna? Was when she pulled Zach and she said, just because I have the rose, I didn't want you to think I wasn't going to put in effort. Like, that's the type of energy I hope we get this season, because I like when women are just like, when they're accountable and they're to the point and they're going to explain it, as opposed to like getting heated about stupid things.
She's incredibly impressive. She's a superstar.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
and
she
the
is.
dress. I loved
that
that.
dress was
That was
incredible.
stunning.
Yeah.
That was also
Stunning.
that was the producers trying to start some shit.
With the roses on the.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
After she won America's Rose, keep in mind, like when they filmed that was days before night 1, so they were already in LA, right?
Oh.
So I guarantee you, Carrie, their stylist, came in and surprised her in her hotel room and said, "We're fitting you for a dress," and they put her in that dress, covered with roses. I don't think they honestly expected it to start something, but that's kind of, they didn't know, but they're gonna do it.
Starting the mind games.
Just like, just reminding everyone. But yeah, she did not show up with and that's when she was trying to explain to the lady, she's like, "I promise you, like, total like coincidence," or she was just trying to be like, "I didn't realize, or I didn't know." That's because like
she
had nothing to do.
it.
She didn't buy it. She didn't fit it. It wasn't her idea. They just put her in a dress, and that was the dress. I'm 99.99%
That makes sense. Yeah. But she's very, very impressive. So you think that Christina over her for like next Bachelorette?
I mean, I'm not casting,
Right.
but knowing them,
Yeah. Interesting.
But I mean, to me, she seems Brianna seems too good for this show.
Yeah. Like I don't see her like, if she doesn't like, win or whatever, I don't see her like going on Bachelor in Paradise.
I mean, we'll see. She's on this show.
True.
And they do kind of,
we are early. It's not like we
contractually, they kind of own her for the, and she, if you went on The Bachelor, you might as well go on Bachelor in Paradise. But we'll see. Maybe they end up together. But she's a star for sure.
Yeah. Incredible.
Who was Meatballs?
Kat, our girl Kat.
Oh my God.
Oh.
That was my favorite when Zach was like, "Kat's here."
Oh my God.
It's going to become their thing.
Also, can I just say, there was
a
one
lot.
shot where they did Kat dirty with the way her makeup looked blended.
Yeah.
It looked like a damn palette the way we went from blush to bright highlighter.
Is that the show's fault?
Well, it was just in all the other shots, I didn't notice it. And then there was one shot where it was like, oh, come on.
It's just like
folks.
the worst lighting ever.
Do they have a makeup artist night one? I read an article where they are responsible for the rest of the season, but night one, they have help.
So
was that
again,
I would think the show would want them to have help night one just to make everybody look
There's not as
great.
much as you think. Like, well, again, this was 8 years ago, and a lot could have changed. But and this was for the Bachelorette, so this was a bunch of men, so maybe there need. But they had like a last looks stop where they had like a makeup artist doing touch-ups, but it was in no way full glam or anything like that.
Yeah,
and I would be willing to guess and bet that the women are responsible for the majority of their makeup, and they might have a last looks person before they come up. But I mean, you can see that in this picture. That's kind of her thing. Like even in this picture, that's a bit blown up.
There was just one shot in particular where I was like, "Damn, come on!"
Yeah, but
throw her a bone.
Well,
but I think that's her bad. Not
is she
the
a
show's.
dancer for like the Knicks or something? So she's a dancer. So maybe she's used to like stage.
Yeah.
And stage and camera like sometimes like really don't.
Sometimes it washes you out. So you need to have that more like vivid
so maybe
thing.
she's used to doing that type of makeup, and then it just like in that lighting was just like not the vibe.
Not it.
I don't think she's gonna be around long.
I don't think so either.
Yeah.
I think I was actually kind of surprised that she got a rose the first night.
Yeah, that was definitely a producer rose for sure.
Yeah. So how often does that happen? Like a lot?
Well,
or?
night one, I mean, it's more like, who do you like, you know? And at night one, you're like, I don't remember most of them.
Yeah.
So I think everyone leads different, but I'm guessing Zach pointed out like 4, 5, 6, maybe 10 people. He's like, I'm really into these 10. But after 10, you're just kind of like,
yeah.
Help me out, guys.
It's like
and
smelling
so
perfume
a
or
lot
something.
of
like,
and so
it's
I think that he probably got a lot of help, and so it's if the producer like if they didn't stand out to you night one, they're probably not going to stand out to you, and then we want so and so because of X, Y, and Z, and so for the people who didn't stand out to the producers and didn't stand out to Zach, those are the people who go home night one.
Yeah.
You have to win someone over night one, either the producers or the lead.
I was surprised that Holland went home. I thought she was kind of a...
She's the yacht girl. I was just mad because
he was in the wrong
I
Holland.
really wanted to know about... I want to know about yachting. And
yachting with the girls.
We'll never know about yachting with the girls.
She seemed like she would get messy, and
that's why I'm shocked that they didn't keep her in.
She seemed like
her and Christina. Oh my God.
Maybe they only need one.
Right. True.
Maybe they're playing like 2 similar characters.
True.
I do feel for her though that her one moment was like saying the like dirty joke. Then she was like, "Sorry, mom and dad." It's like nothing else to balance it out. Just that.
Oh my God. Yeah. I thought she was gonna stay, but I mean, yeah. And I loved that her hair and her makeup. Like, I mean, the sun was up.
Yeah, I know.
It was
rise and shine.
Yeah,
and everyone just like. You could just see the exhaustion on everybody. It was crazy.
That was probably like 7 a.m.
Yeah.
Oof.
See, what's crazy? Okay, so this is a little beef I have with a lot of, like The Bachelor specifically, but a lot of reality shows, they do this thing. Maybe she is from Boca Raton. The likelihood is that she lives in Miami, but we're going to say Boca. There was a girl on... not that long ago, one of the seasons, and it was like, Amanda from Studio City, California. I'm like, that's LA. Just say you're LA. The girl, I think it was Bailey. I'm from Nashville, Tennessee, but I live in Venice. You live in LA. You're already doing LA things. You probably have your Instagram, whatever. You live in LA. You're not like living in Nashville. Like studios, we're in Sherman Oaks right now.
You
but
just want them to own their influencing?
Yes, just own that these people are like they're not like.
So you came out here to be an influencer, it didn't pan out, and now you're trying to be on The
Exactly,
Bachelor.
and that's fine. But don't say you're from Studio City, California. That's literally LA. Just say you live, like, it's insane how
especially
often,
when you're not originally from there. Yeah,
right.
I feel like you're not a local.
Right, like if you were born and raised on like, I don't know, Hazeltine and Burbank Boulevard, like, okay, fine. But that's probably not the case.
Yeah.
It drives me nuts when I see that. Like, let's be real.
I always kind of note when like whoever comes in and then the comments they make about it. He said that about Ariel. He specifically referenced like how attractive he thought she was.
Yeah.
But then we didn't see her at all.
Yeah.
And I was just like, and then when we looked for like in the promo, she was in a couple shots, but it was really hard to tell.
She has interesting energy. She definitely has a very like more low energy, deadpan.
Yeah, it was quiet.
The way she delivers the lines.
Which from a show standpoint, like if you're more quiet, it like again if it comes down to like the lead and then producers. So like if the lead's into you, you don't have to be interesting at all.
Yeah.
And by interesting, I mean like just kind of generous with like
color commentary,
how much you're willing to talk or and give. Like if you're just like, hey, I don't really, a lot of people show up and be like, I don't know, this is not my thing. This is stupid. I don't really want to. I got a life to worry about. But he did mention her as like someone. I forgot what he specifically said.
She was in some things in the promo.
I think it was like the only one that they specifically aired like a comment about what he thought of her going in.
So this wasn't during an entrance, but he did say that Catherine was jaw-dropping, absolutely stunning.
Oh yeah,
when they had their moment on the couch.
Yeah.
They talked about wanting their best friend, being goofy. So it wasn't necessarily right when she came in, but
it was Ariel and another. There was a girl coming in too.
Was it the girl who wore the suit?
Oh, the jumpsuit, Anastasia.
No.
See, now I'm not the Bachelor, but things are already starting to blend
this
together.
girl. He mentioned Catherine.
That's the jaw drop, absolutely stunning.
But he referenced her looks right after they met too. It was her and Ariel.
Yeah.
Yep. But we saw none. We didn't see like we didn't even get any commentary from her. Not even like
she is stunning.
Yeah.
No ITM stuff. So I don't know if she might be someone who
she also had an intro package where she said
Catherine did.
Yeah. She said she dates with purpose. So.
Oh, that's right. I liked her. I thought she had like a good kind of like grounded energy about her.
Totally.
But beyond that, there wasn't a ton of like. I did like when they were goofy together. And then I was surprised. I thought she was gonna get the first impression rose from him.
I was convinced it was Greer.
I don't get Greer.
You don't get Greer?
I don't get Greer.
Really? I think she's a star.
I thought, I think I liked that it was not only her like popping the champagne and spilling it, but also then when she goes to take a sip, spilling it a little bit. Because I feel like as like a chaotic girly, self-identified, I was like, okay, there it is.
I think it's the bartender in me that was annoyed by spilling champagne.
That makes so much sense.
I was like, what is that? No, because she did it in her like package too.
Yeah.
And I was like, babe, this isn't how we do it.
She's on a pour.
Yeah, I gotta teach her.
She's there for the fun.
But I feel like she is a professional first impression person. So the question is,
can she sustain it?
Can she sustain it? Because I think she gives off A+ first impressions.
Yeah,
just
like
in general.
sparky people, like Logan Uri when she talks about like fuck the spark. Like I think, not saying that Greer doesn't also have so much to deliver, but like she is the definition of the spark.
Every first date Greer's been on, guys have gone home being like, I found the one.
Yeah. But then 3 months in, and is it still?
Well, or she, or she's not interested, but like she gives off.
Also, her working as a sales rep, like she's good with people.
Sales, yeah.
Oh, medical sales.
So she's been flirting with doctors for she's only 24. She only could have been in for at least a year. For years.
Since she was a wee baby. She's seasoned.
But that was a long kiss she and Zach shared. Like a long, they were macking.
Yeah, they were.
She could be a bachelorette. My final four is Greer, Catherine, Christina, and Brianna.
I like that top four.
I like that top four.
Christina,
I'm trying to think.
I mean, these are very early. I mean, like again, like maybe Ariel, because I I saw her there. She was in a couple of the promo ones.
Yeah.
Just because it's not an accident for the producers to like the fact that her only airtime was Zach talking about like, oh wow, she's very. I think he said something like she's very attractive. Like, it wouldn't shock me if like we don't hear much from her, and then episode 3 or 4 she gets like a one-on-one date, and then is here to stay for a while.
Yeah.
Those clips in the trailer looked really intense with them too. Like the little like coming up on this season.
They showed the same hot tub twice.
So
I wonder if Zach has like
a hot tub fetish.
No, the Bachelor does. But
so that way they can be hard in the hot tub.
This is a hill that Amanda's dying
I feel so passionately about this. I think they bring on hot tubs all the time, so that way they can like do some subtle hand stuff underwater,
and it's not
super visible and upsetting
subtle hand
for
stuff.
Well, more specifically, I think maybe it's to build sexual tension without
showing the construction process.
Yeah. No, but if it's the same hot tub, that means it's either, it's most likely the same hot tub would imply that he has like his own hot tub wherever he's staying, or it's like earlier in the process, or it could be a group date.
Or a 2-on-1.
Could be a 2-on-1.
Oh my God,
Oh,
they each have a turn?
Oh,
That's
so
a lot.
intimidating.
Have
I
you
would want to go
swap?
first.
Yeah. He stays in the hot tub and they just swap. God.
Yeah, because I think they show the same hot tub twice in the promo with 2 different women.
Interesting.
Oh God, I hope it was cleaned.
Yeah.
That's the least of their
You'd
concerns.
hope to go first.
How much extra chlorine?
Well, they're not fucking in the hot tub. Like,
Yeah, there's
You could have
fluids, I
other
don't know.
juices.
not really. Not really.
Well, the other people who I'm like, maybe not, I pretty much agree with top 4, but the other people who I'd be like, in contention or will be there like the week or 2 before, or Bailey, Jess. Did we say Jess already? She was first one out the limo.
Yeah, I mean, listen, this could,
It's early.
it's way early. Yeah.
But also...
Yeah, but other people, Jess for sure. I could, not first out of the limo. She's going to be around. She's going to have a character arc.
I can see her having a one-on-one at some point, because I think they'll probably address the fact that she's the youngest. She is the youngest, right?
Yeah, she's 23.
And with Brianna, like, honestly, like, I wonder if we and America is going to love her more than Zach. And not that Zach even wouldn't, but they don't seem like they have all that much in common. Or just the chemistry or compatibility. Like, Zach didn't seem like all that. It was like, oh, I remember you. It wasn't.
He wasn't like waiting to see her
there
come out
wasn't
of
like
the
an
limo.
energy that I was like,
Yeah,
like,
I get that. I
oh,
think
it's you again. There wasn't like, like a.
Sup?
It just kind of, it didn't.
He didn't light up when he saw her.
No.
Yeah.
No. So.
Yeah, I want to see how he. I'm just I'm curious and concerned that all of his favorites are going to be the ones that I'm not like not the ones that I'm like rooting for.
Let's go through your favorites.
Okay, my favorites were Bailey, Catherine,
Balin.
Morning in the Balin.
Oh yeah, the morning in the Balin.
She's like, what is a Balin?
I loved that. I liked Charity, but now I'm like, who's Charity?
Oh,
Wait.
she had a little bit of a drawl. She had a little accent, didn't
Wait,
she?
is Charity the therapist?
Yeah.
Oh, I loved
She also,
her.
we saw her in that super tease. Like, we saw Charity
yeah.
and we saw her getting emotional.
Yeah, I
So-
really liked her.
Super teases are so.
Misleading.
Yeah, it's like, is she a
Misleading.
week 3 crier or is she in the finals getting her heart ripped out? Who's to say?
Who's to
Right.
say?
I really, her being a therapist, like a child and family therapist, I was like,
Her intro package was cute.
Yeah, that was great. I really liked her. In these notes, you guys said Anastasia, immediate villain vibes.
The reason I wrote that was because, and this is only from the limo entrance,
Where is she?
I'm on it.
Because I liked her.
I liked her by the end of it. It was just that she was wearing a black jumpsuit.
Oh, I see. I was like, ooh, no. Does that happen often?
And it felt like the combination of the music where I was like, oh, is it villain energy?
They actually did have like a weird music change for her.
Yeah.
That's
It's like, what are you trying to tell us?
Right, like some sort of like foreshadowing of something.
They do
possibly.
They do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could picture her being a villain. Not like in real life, but like on this show.
She's I'm like reading her bio. It says she's always felt a strong connection to Cleopatra. Interesting.
I really kind of loved. That's a vibe.
Strong connection.
She loves Rufus Du Sol. Great, love it.
I've always like felt a really strong connection to Albert Einstein.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Okay. It's part of
who I am.
Yeah. What's in your bio? Yeah, I really liked her. And then I feel like Gabby.
She was from Vermont. She's maple syrup.
Maple syrup girl.
She had the deep V dress.
Yes,
right? Yeah.
I did like maple syrup girl. Although I feel bad saying maple syrup girl because even she was like, I'm just the maple syrup girl. But I thought she was really fun and seemed like really fun to hang out with. She was poking fun at herself. I'm curious if, again, like I feel like these girls that have like these funny personalities and that are like kind of clever, and I'm just curious if Zach
is gonna appreciate that.
Yeah, or like is he? Because I love that sense of humor. Is that something that he gets, or is I don't know?
Yeah,
I'm nervous.
What makes Zach laugh? What makes him like weep laughing?
Right. I'm like,
does he find anything that funny?
Please say yes.
I'm sure we'll see.
Do we know what he liked about Rachel? I mean, his last Bachelor.
Oh yeah. I don't know.
It was so hard to tell with two bachelorettes because.
Yeah.
But like, what was their?
What did they bond over?
Yeah.
I wonder if they just both felt like they were very, like Rachel. Just there was something about her that, like, even from Clayton season, where I was just like wifey. Like there is something about her energy that feels very much like she is ready to be at that part of life.
Well, I think to Ariana's point, that's the concern is, like, is Zach gonna just pick the person with all this pressure of right reasons and the show in general? Is he just gonna pick the person who plays the role of wife the best? Rather than focus on who do I really connect with, who really sees me, who really understands me, or
who's gonna make me laugh at 55, 60?
Yeah,
when we're sitting on the porch drinking iced tea.
Because I could picture Zach making the mistake that other leads have made of picking who he thinks everyone else wants him to pick, or who does he think looks the best, and who does he think is the most ready to get married in 6 months, rather than who's the best partner for me for a lifetime.
To build a relationship. Yeah, exactly.
And that's definitely just a risk. And no one's going to be looking out for Zach regarding that answer other than Zach.
Right.
And I don't know if Zach is prioritizing that because the show is not going to make that a priority.
No.
The producers won't make that a priority.
I don't even know if that's something that he thinks about. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it goes back to what you were saying at the beginning about how he loves his parents' model of no conflict or no fighting.
And from what he sees, yeah.
So is he just going to pick like a girl who's like so pleasant and lovely, but
go with the flow,
not necessarily
any
like spark to her?
Do you feel like that with the right reasons being the theme of the season? It seems like. I'm guess is the drama going to come from Zach calling out one or two of the women for
lying,
for wanting to be in truth? They mentioned honesty.
The honesty toast.
Oh yeah, that
okay.
Was a lot.
Which of these bitches is going to lie to him?
Someone's going to be called out for being a liar.
Ooh, what if it's Christina?
I did also think when Katie got her rose because they from Austin, so I feel like already like kind of eye on her, and I'm pretty sure they're she's one of the girls he kissed. But it felt like there was a lot of villain music when she got her rose. And I was like, are they setting us up for like a betrayal from this like seemingly sweet woman?
Maybe, yeah.
I hope they don't have too messy of a...
It says the Canadian nurse.
Yeah, keep going.
But then it says she's from Austin.
Keep going.
Maybe that's what she's lying about.
They showed a lot of Kimberly.
They did, yeah.
Kimberly was the one who comforted Madison. And I thought she did a damn good job when she was like, keep your chin up.
Yeah.
Because you could tell there were other girls who were like absolutely reveling in the fact they were like, okay, this is the shit show of the night. It's not me. It's her. Like, she's asking to talk to him twice. Like, she's doing the classic thing. And Kimberly, I thought was like, she was like, your makeup looks fine. Keep your chin up. And I was like, that was very encouraging.
Yeah, I really liked her vibe. I really liked that she was like supportive in that way, because I think because it is quote unquote, like a competition. It is so easy to fall in that trap of like, haha, like that girl's, she's going.
She's a hospitality manager. She knows crisis management.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, she got a rose, right?
She did. She was the second to last rose.
But I did think it was interesting when, when Zach and Madison had their talk and he said that he didn't get the clarity he wanted with Rachel. So he's making tough decisions in the sake of love this time. So it's like, it's going to be interesting to see, how much did his situation with Rachel affect how he's going to lead this season.
Like he doesn't want to put somebody through what he,
because that was very confusing for him, because I don't know, it seemed like Rachel was all in and then suddenly they had their fantasy suite date and suddenly she's talking about age. So I think he just felt very like blindsided by her.
Yeah.
How would you like it if you kiss someone and they said that didn't sit well?
He said the quote was, I felt overwhelmed.
I felt But it didn't sit well with me.
But she even said the kiss was subpar.
Yeah. Well, and also, I mean, they had their talk. They didn't kiss organically in the first talk. So then to like seek him out again. Oh my God. It was like, I wanted to like, the secondhand embarrassment was so real. I just wanted to be like, no, don't do it.
Well, she also forcefully pulls him. Like that's one of those things where I'm like, that is behavior, and there's good reason that it would be different if the genders were different, but like you imagine like a man like kind of like physically like that's not okay.
And I think my head. Don't touch my head.
And then when we're talking about having like a more evolved definition of consent as a society, it's stuff like that, Madison, where it's like, no, like read the room. If it's not a yes, like, it's a no.
He's clearly uncomfortable with what you're doing. And I get she was like really drunk, so she's maybe missing a lot of these like nonverbal cues and stuff, but it's like, girl, like let's reel it in. I felt bad that she fell apart like that, but
did she shut her business down to go on this show though? Because when you say a statement that says, I cannot believe I gave up my life for him, that's a pretty bold claim.
Also, no one should ever do that.
Yeah.
Ever.
She was only gone for a week, so I doubt it. So
she probably had to cancel one meeting.
I'm sure the business is back up and running. I think she was, I'm sure, in her feels in that moment.
Yeah.
I don't think she gave up anything for Zach.
Do you ever, okay, so this is like a production question also. Like they showed the women finding out that he was the Bachelor. So obviously you're cast to be a contestant before you know who the Bachelor is.
Correct.
Also, obviously, no one's going to go, oh, you know what? I'm actually not going to do it. I'm not really into that guy.
I think it's been done, but I don't think
Right.
often.
So then do you think they show up with this idea of like, well, maybe I'll learn to like him?
Sure. I mean, yeah. And they... Is
that where the right reasons kind of comes in? Or
Sure. I mean, and I'm sure they told all those women to like film yourself.
Yeah.
Watching us announce the next
What
Bachelor.
if you filmed yourself and you were like,
well, that's the thing. Everyone has very different types.
Also, they tell you to have an open mind. It was Sean Lowe coming in and being like, just so you know, I didn't notice. You got to think Catherine must be annoyed with that storyline. I was wondering how she feels about
that.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you think there's ever an advantage to not kind of going off to the races in terms of how fast you catch feelings? Because it feels like traditionally it's almost like this race to I love you, and there gets to a point where people who seem perfectly lovely, it's like, I'm sorry, I just developed other connections faster. But I'm wondering, like, for someone like Greer, where they had this like very intense connective moment that felt grounded in like their parents and also where they live and would want to settle down, like, is there any advantage to trying to let that have a little bit more of a build? Or do you think it's better to just like get it out there as soon as possible, be a front runner?
For who? Like, are you saying like from a contestant's?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you're so nervous night one. I don't think you're, if anyone has a level of confidence, and maybe it's Greer, to say, well, they're going to love me regardless. So do I want them to love me right away, or do I want to wait 3 or 4 weeks? That's a level of confidence I would want to bottle. But like, I think most people are just insanely nervous and hoping they don't get home night one. And I think they're just putting their best foot forward when they meet the lead and not trying to. And
I think maybe somewhere in the middle would be like how, if I could control it, where I would want to land, like have like a great conversation night one, really like, ooh, yeah, there's something there, but then not be like straight like to the finish line, like right away, like have that sort of like a little bit of a build.
Yeah, and Greer comes across as someone, she'll always have something to say. She seems a very chatty person. She's in sales.
Yeah.
And that, again, that goes such a long way. You know, Zach's going to be going from conversation to conversation. And when he's on these early one-on-one dates or night one, and he's on his 12th conversation of the night, and he sits down, a handful of these women are just going to be waiting for Zach to say something and waiting for, like taking his lead because, you're nervous, you don't know what to say. And the other half of women will have something they'll want to talk about.
They got an agenda going into
hey,
it.
well, I've been thinking about this. And for the people who do the latter, it's just so much easier on the lead. And I think subconsciously it comes across as someone you can trust and someone you can count on, as opposed to like, I got to do all the heavy lifting. And I think it reads that way subconsciously to the leads because like it's like fight or flight mode in that moment when you're the lead of you're trying to survive. You're physically trying to like stay awake. You're trying not to like rub anyone the wrong way. You're not trying to, everyone's nervous. And so any help you get from the women is so appreciated, and it can really build a connection fast. And so the outgoing women who kind of are quick to show their personality have such a leg up from a chemistry standpoint than anyone else.
Yeah.
Who do we think gets the first one-on-one next week? Greer or someone else?
I would be surprised if it's Greer. I mean, Greg got the first one-on-one with Katie, but I think that was the first time you got a first impression, Rose. Quick
with
one-on-one.
The first,
someone with a sad story. Would be my guess.
I was like, the cheating. Should we have to hear about the cheating?
I love the way you delivered that.
Yeah, I hope not. I hope they can do better than
maybe Christina and talk about her daughter.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe.
Because at some point she's gonna have a conversation with him about
being a single mom.
Because if Christina's not a Final Four in your next Bachelorette or the winner, she's definitely gonna be a villain.
Oh yeah.
I feel it. She's got it in there.
Oh, she definitely has it in her.
She's definitely, it's there somewhere.
Yeah. So, but I don't know. I don't know if they're going to lean into having as many villains. She definitely could be. That's a villain picture right there.
That is the
thing.
That is a villain picture. Yeah.
But
absolutely.
she's so, I thought she was so funny and spunky, and I feel like a big part of Bachelor Nation is going to absolutely love her.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I love her. I'm scared of her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think she's too clever to like really do the whole like, I'm not here to make friends, and really like, I don't think she's going to go full Shanae and just like not give a fuck.
No, she's towing the line. A lot of her comments, like what we were saying earlier, could be taken as
they could go either way.
Yeah. Like, is she joking or is she?
So I will say, if she gets the first one-on-one, then it's possible she becomes a villain. Because the question is how much attention does the show allow her to have from Zach early on? Because they can control that a little bit. And if they want to create a villain somehow, one way to do it is to get a contestant to put a target on their back, by allowing them to have, some one-on-one time. Everyone's interrupting everyone. Like every conversation, night one or every group date is someone coming in and interrupting. You never see it.
Yeah.
But everyone is interrupting someone. Every single conversation that starts on night one or the early group dates is someone saying, "Hi, excuse me, can I, sorry, like,
so
can I cut in here?" Like every single one.
Man, that must be so awkward.
How do they go about like coordinating and calling it? Like, because I'm thinking about like, at the airport when your group is next and there's like a mob and it's like, okay, who is going to like lead the charge and force themselves in the front? Like, are there a bunch of people hovering by the conversation and it's whoever like wants to go in quickest who goes? Or is it kind of like, okay, I'm going to go next and then you go after me, and then there's like a queue that they build for themselves?
All of the above.
Because there's so many women that are you see clips of the women being like, I'm just sitting here and I haven't talked to him, and it's like, well, so that's up to them then.
A little bit, like, my night one, like it was like 1:00 in the morning. I could tell, and this has since been confirmed that like for a lot of producers, some of the producers didn't give a shit about me. Mm-hmm. The ones that did were, lucky for me, were really high up and I didn't see, but like you could tell early on that producers had certain relationships with cast that they didn't have with me. Because I could see them talking to other contestants, and I just remember being like standing there by myself. I felt like very much on an island.
How many crews did you have? Or like our show has like 3 crews, so there's like 3 field producers, and then they have their own little like.
There's the date team. There's the house team. So there's 2 main ones like that, but then there's
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So.
And so I just remember having this thought of, I'm fucking here. Like and so I started going around and I didn't know who was who. Like I didn't know who was an executive or who was a handler, but I was just like, hey, can you help me go talk to her? And me showing, like, that helped. And I honestly, if I didn't do that, there's a chance I might not have talked to her. Right. So I think it's a little bit of both. It's a little bit of like, sometimes the producers have their favorites, and it's not just like one producer. Like when you're getting casted, there's like 20 producers in the room, and some, like, they all have their horses, so to speak.
Yeah.
They have like some producers like this. I think this person's going to go top 4, or this person could win. And like, there's a lot of different opinions. It's not like this, group of 3 and they have their 4 favorite. It's right. But so you see that, and then there's other people who like no one's really like, this is their person, and some people like will make the initiative and take the initiative, and then from there on, you kind of create a moment, and they are like, oh well, we like that, or someone speaks up, and then and so I think the producers, especially this early on, they're observing the crowd as much as like they don't know how these people are going to operate in the setting, so they definitely don't have a plan about like the season arc or who's going to be who that early. They're reactive. They respond quickly, and then they adjust. But
it's a lot less. Sounds like it's a lot less structured than what I imagine a night like night one looking like.
Totally. Yeah. There's not much structure at all.
Yeah, because I guess in my mind I'm like, okay, so they really, they're either setting aside time for certain contestants, but. Yeah, that's really interesting that it's kind
maybe
of
a handful, and then the rest kind of like decide. And if you're someone who doesn't have a big story or didn't connect with one of the producers early on, and then you show up and you're just like, I don't know, I'll just wait for him to come grab me. Like, there's a good chance that like it's not going to happen.
Yeah. You gotta like create your own destiny, I guess, in that regard.
We didn't talk about her, but who's the rodeo girl?
Brooklyn.
Oh.
I mean, I don't really have, like, no matter what her character is on the show, villain, not a villain, hero, winner, early exit, like, that's impressive.
Oh, yeah.
Like, there's nothing she could do wrong in my book.
Also, I love the, like, using rodeo as a verb, like in her intro package where she's like, I rodeo. I was like, okay.
Yeah, and she like
great.
rodeos.
She rodeos.
Like legit.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah. She's like, this is literally not my first rodeo. Like, I can handle anything. I'm on a wild animal.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm confusing. I'm realizing I know there's a lasso that's going around, but I'm having like a coastal Massachusetts moment where I'm like, what's a rodeo?
Rodeo is like, A rodeo is basically like an event.
You can have a lot
Are
of
you
different
on a
events.
horse too?
I'm a horse girl, but I
Okay.
don't rodeo.
But
There's
is the
different
person
activities.
rodeoing on a horse?
So a rodeo
Can be.
is like the event,
Ah.
like the big overall event. And there's different things that
Activities.
happen, things that happen like within the rodeo. So I'm assuming she does like multiple
she does
things.
barrels, she does
Yeah.
lassos, but like you could
Roping.
also have like at a rodeo you could also have like bull riding, or you
Yes.
could have like the little lambs, like
Like,
whatever, like
yeah.
the kids
where
riding
they're-
the little ones.
or
Yeah.
and they're trying to
Bronco,
they're trying to
bucking,
lasso
yeah.
up the calves in a certain amount of time and string them
Yeah.
up. Or there's different
String 'em
events.
up. Yeah, there's a lot of like different
PETA-
things
PETA
within
does
the
not
rodeo.
love a rodeo.
No,
No.
PETA does not love a rodeo.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
either
went
way,
to a rodeo
I'm-
once. It was traumatic.
Very very impressed by Brooklyn's
Yeah, she's
ability
tough. I like
to,
her.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, see these bios. It's like watching the show. You're not getting a lot of like what's being said. She's like a lab. What she's like.
Yeah, because
studies animal science
suddenly
and
she
stuff?
wasn't she switched into like being in scrubs or
Yeah,
something?
she's like a scientist or something, which is really cool. But it's like we don't. I
She's
feel
a
like we
lab
don't get it.
designer.
I think she's gonna
for
go
oral
far.
surgery practice.
I don't know if
That's
she's
cool.
top 4 or anything like that, but she's outspoken.
see her at
she's been a lot of,
Paradise.
she's
Yes.
given a lot of commentary.
Yeah.
I think she could be one of the narrators for the season, and so she'll be around to like the week or the week before hometowns.
I really hope
Yeah.
that they go on some sort of like trail riding or like horseback riding date, and everyone else is just like walking their horses along,
and she's like, I got it.
going.
And then Zach is just like so large and tall that like he looks ridiculous on the horse.
On the horse, he's bigger than the horse.
His legs go down to like the floor.
He needs no stirrups.
Yeah.
They just drag.
They're like, we don't have a Clydesdale for you to ride, sir, so sorry.
All right, that kind of wraps it up. Do we have? Give me your top 4 early predictions,
Ooh.
or any predictions at all. Maybe first
Okay.
one-on-one.
I think first
Villain.
one-on-one is gonna be Christina because she's gonna have the conversation about having a kid. She's gonna tell her whole story about her daughter. I also see her being she's giving subtle villain energy. Not that I don't think she's like a bad person. Again, I'm scared of her. I'm kind of hoping he gets rid of Greer early because I just think she's great at first impressions, but I don't know.
If you end up being right about
She seems like
Greer,
he breaks up with her. If he broke up with her now, she would sob. And I'm like, you just met him.
you think so?
Yeah, I don't know.
If you're
I
right
could be
about
wrong.
Greer, like give me a comp of like a Greer, of like there's got to be a type of person that you're thinking.
I guess I feel like Greer is who I would like see out at the club. Doesn't know how to open, like she just doesn't have the life experience. I can't think of like a specific.
I feel like the champagne thing as a bartender
It really
resonated with you.
It's burned into your brain.
Yeah, it's really getting.
You can't
to me.
unsee that.
I can't.
Okay.
I can't. So there's no going back from the champagne debacle. I really who do I think is gonna win? Honestly, I think that the therapist Charity is gonna be there for a while. And what was the girl? See, now I don't there's so many names. I think Bailey's gonna go really far, actually.
Yeah,
And Ariel. I don't know. Top 4 is tough.
top 4 is tough.
There's a lot.
Those are all
there's a
solid
lot
picks.
that's gonna happen between now and then.
Well, that about does it. Do you ladies have any? Give me one person to look out for, Allie and Amanda.
Catherine or Bailey, I have my eyes on.
I just got a feeling that Catherine is going to, if she's not the winner, I think she's gonna have a meltdown.
Ooh.
And that will be her. Like, I don't think we're getting any like Corinne villains. I think we're gonna have again. I think this season's gonna go back and rewatch a season of Sean Lowe. I think it's gonna have very similar vibes to older seasons. But yeah, I think Catherine, if she doesn't win, I think she has a meltdown.
Mm-hmm.
I think you guys should have like a pool that you have like while you're recapping all the episodes of like how many leg arounds.
Yeah.
How many like group yelling from a balcony. You know what I mean? Like,
or we
take
should
that.
just start putting like $1 on each one of these statements, and then at the end of the season,
Yeah.
Square up.
yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, something to consider.
I feel like
Catherine has a meltdown. $1.
Yeah. Christina says something that is funny, but is it mean?
$20.
Yeah.
Go, that's the game. Kat, is it funny or is it mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
With
That'll be
Christina.
an ongoing segment this season.
Yeah.
Is it funny or mean?
Yeah.
All right, Ariana, please let my audience know where they can find you, follow you, any projects you're working on, anything you want or can promote. Please do.
Yeah. So, Vanderpump Rules season 10 airs February 8th on Bravo. You can follow me on Instagram. It's just my name, ArianaMadix. My cocktail company, DFH Cocktails, which stands for Drink from Home, is something that I'm really excited about. We're having a party at Tom Tom in West Hollywood on I guess it's February, the Sunday right before our premiere. So, like the 5th?
Yeah, the 5th.
The 5th. Having a party for DFH Cocktails. So come out to Tom Tom. It's going to be a great time. And hopefully in the next month or two, my podcast will be back. Just Earth to Ariana. So there you go.
All right, check it all out. It
Yeah.
should be a ton of fun, your party.
Yeah.
Also, our new show, Better Date Than Never, on AMP, part of it is we do a little pregame section. So tune in this Thursday. We're going to get a bartender extraordinaire recommendation for what the cocktail should be.
Oh,
so if you
yeah.
want to hear that, make sure you don't miss it. It's at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern.
Hell yeah.
That's right.
Cheers.
Cheers.
All right. Well, we will see you back on Thursday. My dear friend Brad Goreski joins us. We'll talk all things fashion, dating. I think he's mad at me for not inviting him to his engagement party. He also has a new show coming out. It'll be a ton of fun. What other pop culture topics will we be getting into, Amanda?
There's some Dubai stuff to cover.
Everyone's in Dubai.
That's it?
I mean, well, we're going to see what breaks this week.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
The news cycle changes.
The news cycle changes. All right. Well, be sure to tune in for that. Other than that, have a great week. We'll see you back on Thursday.
Bye.
Bye.